It was so unusual and special. I mean, Seth called me up, from day one and said, "Hey, I think the only way this is going to work is if you, the editor, are on set helping us craft these shots because we shot these very long, complicated oneers, and each scene essentially is a oneer with no visible editing. And so my job was to be on set and help them craft the scene, and I'd be like suggesting line cuts and suggesting ways to speed up moments and connect scenes to, this scene to that scene, make sure like we end in a wide shot in this because we start the next scene, which we already shot in a single. It was very complicated and incredibly, I just feel so lucky that I got to do it because it was just, it's so unusual for an editor to have that role. Seth and Evan, I've worked with them a bunch in the past, so there was a level of trust there. But yeah, I mean, every time you're editing a comedy, you get to a point where, you're like, okay, we've been living with this joke now for 4 months. We all know it's not like the best joke. Let's cut it and see what happens. And you cut it and you're like, oh, the scene is so much better now because that joke, which was funny but not like the funniest, is gone. And so I had to do that live on the studio, which was like so crazy and stressful. But thanks to Seth and Evan, they were open to it. And I would literally say to them after take 5 or 6, I'd be like, hey, maybe this joke isn't needed, and maybe this joke isn't needed, and we would cut them. And it's how the scenes got good, because by take 12, 13, 14, 15, the scene was brought down to its like funniest, most best bits, and then it was alive. And then by take like 18, the actors had all locked in, and it was amazing. Everyone was happy. And then by take 19 or 20, we were like, oh, it's getting worse now. We should move on. Sal Saperstein is a character on the studio, and everyone thanks him in the Golden Globe episode, including myself on stage. Sal Saperstein is also played by Ike Barinholtz, who is genuinely one of the funniest and most delightful individuals. He's also a trivia master. He's in this trivia league that he invited me into, and he is like a god of trivia. My favorite is an episode called the Pediatric Oncologist. It's where they go to this doctor gala, and there becomes a sort of a long debate about what's more important, movies or medicine. And it's such an absurd argument, but like Seth just commits so hard to the argument. And actually, I don't know, he makes a beautiful point about the power of stories, and he says, yes, you doctors keep people alive, but we give them a reason to live, which is so silly, but I love it so much.